Setting up a cycle time in the WHS through the host to the WHS receiver. Connect up to your receiver. You now see a bunch of new icons there. Go to your setup menu. Start by setting up your SD card. Initialize the card. And it's giving me a warning there saying that I'm in logging mode, so I'm just going to close this out. And I'm going to press this red button with the white square, and that'll stop logging. As you can see, the message on the right hand side says log stop. So let's go to setup, SD card setup, initialize the SD card. This will destroy all the data, so you got to be aware that you've already downloaded it. Receiver, press yes, and then close, then OK. Next step in setup, date time setup. Make sure that you send your PC time, and wait for this message. The receiver clock and your system clock are synchronized, and then you can go done. Sometimes they're out by 1 second. It's best to run it until you have it synchronized. Next up, setup, logging schedule. And this is where you set your cycle time. Okay, so you go to not always on. What you want to do is we're going to set it up so that it only works for 20 seconds and then it's off for 40 seconds. This increases the length of time that the receiver could be under the water. And we're going to go to 24-hour schedule, and we're going to set it up so that the cycle time is 1 minute, and we're going to drop this down to 20, so it's only going to be on 1/3 of the time. Now you have to make sure that you switch this to cycle time, so stop in at the 1 a.m. there, down click on the little triangle here, and then press cycle. This will allow all of them to be changed to cycle except for your first one, which now you go back to and press cycle, so that throughout the whole day it just turns on for 20 seconds and listens, and then goes off for 40 seconds. Make sure that you send that to the receiver, and then press done. Last but not least, if you put fresh batteries in, just make sure that if you have a 4-cell, this one's a 2-cell, and then I'm going to reset it. And we reset it with the fresh batteries, and then we're done. Bluetooth setup should always be off. There it is, always off. Make sure you send it and press done. And last but not least, beacon. Now you can set your burst rate for your beacon. Now in an array, you must have it on, and it should be around 15 to 30 seconds. Actually, just for the purposes of this, I'm going to enable it and select 15 seconds, which is the lowest burst rate available. I'm going to send it to my receiver and press done. And now I'm going to start it to data logging. The receiver is ready to go, and now it should be data logging. And as you can see, got a few codes and IDs here. Very low power, but since this purpose of the test is just to show you how it turns on for 20 seconds and then goes to sleep. See how it started at 26 here, up on the right hand receiver status window, and then log stopped after 20 seconds. And then it should start back up again in 40 seconds, and we should see that come on. And there we go. Almost 1 minute later, turns on. And this should be on for 20 seconds. And then it should stop again. And that's how you set up a cycle time in the WHS receiver.